Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're gonna have a look at the Aventos HF Lift System and a modification that I made for this to be used in cabinet vision. Now this is BLUM, and you can see there you can use this one in standard, and it could also have the servo-drive. This one specifically, the setup that I used is for use with wooden fronts and wide aluminium frames, and the door frontals could be symmetrical or asymmetrical. In my case, I've set this up to be symmetrical since that is what we use. This is what the lift system looks like, in case you haven't seen this before. Okay, so this lift system, these flap doors use very specific hinge types as well. And this one's called a clip top 120 degree, but you also get the one that is used for in the center of the two doors. And it's an inline hinge plate. Okay, so let's have a look here. I have already set up the hinges, so as you can see I've got the schedule applied. Clip top 120 degree full overlay screw on. If we look in the cabinet, you can see that they are applied right there. Now in this case I already have the center hinge in place as well, so let's go from scratch. Let's remove those. Okay, so we're setting up the blank carcass again. Okay, so let's make that a door. Hinge on top. Cool. And now if you do a horizontal split, the second door would follow suit. Now the problem with this is that it's applying the same hinge, and in this case that center hinge should be a different hinge. So I did create the center hinge as well, and I'm going to be applying those manually. So I'll go on that door. Now for me, I put the hinge plate, the inline hinge plate, also in the hinge. Now unfortunately the hinge plate, you can't clear that field, you can't delete it. Yes, you could go create a blank material and maybe apply that, but for me I just added something else in to be able to remove the system added hinge plate. See, because now my hardware count would be incorrect, so I'm sitting with two too many there. So in one of my orthogonal views I need to select one of those hinge plates, and in the sidebar I'll just say remove true. So those are removed. And what I've done in the hinge of that center hinge, I just added the hinge plates into the kit, so my hardware count would be correct. Now I'm going into my cabinet notes, and I'm going to switch on lift stays to true. Now this is part of the modification. Unfortunately right now the options don't come up immediately until I've refreshed or actually gone into the cabinet. You see I'm at assembly level. I have options to apply lift stays. Now I've built in a few already, but let's select the HF gray, and there you can see it's in place. The placement of this system highly depends on formula and cabinet size and things like that. Now you can see the telescopic arm is for the range 688 to 890, and this has a different part number for BLUM. Now let's go have a look. I'm going to test one for below 480, if the cabinet height is below 480. The reason is, if you look at BLUM's documentation, that's the cabinet height. Okay, KH is cabinet height, and the range that it should fall in is 480 to 549 or 550 to 1040, and that will depend, using a formula, where the drill holes would be. So I'm going to take the same cabinet, reduce it exactly to 480. This is still in range, so it should be fine, right? You can see the arm length has adjusted. In fact, looking at the frontals, you can even see that that it is clamping in a different position onto the bottom frontal. Okay, so that works. I'm going to go 0.1 below, which means it's out of range. Boom. So I've got a loud and clear alert telling me that there's a problem in height here. And what I've done is, if I go and look at my reports, my hardware report for example, or right here, you can see that there's something in place. They're saying there's a height problem. It should be between 480 and 1040. Now if I look at my hardware list, you can see that here as well. Now let's try another one. Let's go up to like 1040 cabinet height. And my lift system should still be in place. However, it should be placed differently, as you can see. The arm, again, it's also using a different part. It's adjusted. You see there, it's a different part. And also, it attaches in a different position on the bottom frontal. Now let's adjust this. Let's go 0.1 above, so out of range. Another alert. This is very useful. This is a new thing that I've started doing, and it works really well. It's great to visually get an indication that something's wrong. Okay, let's try another one. So there's an internal depth limitation as well. So the minimum should be 278. Now what we could do is just have a measure quickly and see what is the internal depth right now in this cabinet. Let's go from the front of the edging up to the unfinished back. You can see that's 281. So let's see. Quick calculation so you can see this. So 3 mils. If we reduce the depth of this cabinet by 3 mil, we're exactly at the minimum internal depth, which is 278. So let's just make sure about that. There we go, 278. You can see that in the horizontal field. Okay, now let me just show you where this is in the documentation. You can see there, minimum 278. Okay, so let's reduce this tiny bit. Let's go 0.1 smaller. Boom, different alert. It's telling me there's a problem with the depth. Okay, so I've made this so you can obviously see this in elevation and in plan view, which is useful. Now let's look at the report. You can see there's a depth problem, and it's telling me the minimum should be 278. So it's useful if you can keep the error sweet and short and include it in the part name. But that's it, guys. I hope this was useful. I hope that this opens your eyes to some possibilities and gives you some ideas. Until next time, thank you.